come on. Here we go again, motherfucker. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello there. Welcome to episode 2 of the Weekly Hour with myself, Chris Poe. Great of you to be here. Really glad to have you on board as we go through and embark on this journey in introducing the new studio. I have an adapter here for various, it has various charging capabilities. USB is pretty universal. I use it from my DS. I just got Pokemon Gold. Heart Gold. Pokemon Heart Gold. Now, I was a massive fan of the original Pokemon games, the Red, Blue, and Yellow, the Gold and Silver. And I kind of started to forget about the series, as I think a lot of us tended to after, what came after? Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald? Great games. All of them are great games. But then this remaster came along, this remake rather, and it's just, what a great feel that this game has. So I have that. Excuse me. As I said last time, I've forgotten one thing. The stool that that is holding the phone that is recording this video, this podcast, was made by the Mills store in Thomasville, Connecticut, I believe. There was a sticker underneath. I found this this stool tucked away underneath the table, and I thought I could make use of it. And my phone is resting against a can of nearly empty Hornet spray. There's nothing really in particular I decided to initiate this podcast to talk about. That's why the title Weekly Hour fits the best. It's just, it's a weekly hour, and I'm going to try to be faithful as I possibly can to the time. At this point, we have a better chance of making actual hour-length podcasts. Consider the first episode as a 16-minute teaser trailer. That's what we'll call it. Well, I guess I ought to talk about something. I'm not prepared at all to talk about anything, but I guess if I had to discuss anything, or tell you a story perhaps, I think I'd have to go the route of the origin of my YouTube channel. Yeah. 2008. I became obsessed with Dog the Bounty Hunter. And I think this was in part due to the fact that I was so wide-eyed towards the concept of Cowboy Bebop. As I became overly fanatic about it, I discovered it, watched it. And so bounty hunting, that was my initial entry into the idea of bounty hunting, was Cowboy Bebop. That was the first place I'd ever heard it mentioned. So when I saw this show all about bounty hunters and this pretty fucking exotic looking Floridian type dude, Dwayne Chapman, and his crazy, all of them are felons. That's why you see them never carrying lethal weaponry. It's always pepper ball guns. Yeah, it's wild when you think about it. However, tangent. We get back on track, and we were at the part where I was so enamored with the show. I watched it all the time, reruns, it didn't matter. I watched it You know, probably more often than I watch Cowboy Bebop, because Cowboy Bebop wasn't I didn't have access to it to watch it. There'd be 3.5 hour blocks on A&E. Just be Dog the Bounty Hunter, Dog the Bounty Hunter, Dog the Bounty Hunter. It was honestly like, characterize the people on that show as you will, and I get it. They're controversial, they're questionable, they're fucking cringy and weird at times. But it was an entertaining show. It's a show I could still watch today. I think it's that good. I think it being set in Hawaii, first of all, because they go back and forth. They go between Hawaii and Colorado. I don't know if they've ever gone anywhere else in the show. I can't remember, but there was some sort of charm about it being filmed in Hawaii. Hawaii, just that island essence, and just being surrounded by the beautiful imagery drew me in. Honestly, that was part of it. I like those little cutaways that just show, a shot of a fucking verdant mountain range, just sprawling through, a fog that's being cut away by the pervasive sunlight of Hawaiian day. And the shit like that was good. And then, the sunsets, the incredible sunrise and sunsets. It's just there was just so much. Nature is just in its final form in Hawaii, in some regards. It's beautiful. But I don't know how genuine Dog and any of his crew are towards the people that they capture, their bounties, because in the show, they'll offer them a cigarette most times and go over their life story with them, while a camera is pointed in their face. And I'm starting to think about it, and like, how often did fugitives protest against the camera? A lot of them acted as if it wasn't there, but there's literally a guy facing you with this thing. How do they hold it? Like a bazooka. They hold it. It's just a monstrosity, and it's there. You can't see it because you're watching the show through it. But it's there. It must be like, I can only imagine, like, the fugitive is telling his life story, and imagine this is a camera, and it's just in your face like this. That's actually a bottle of Fiber Master, all-in-one. Pre-treatment bonnet cleaner and general spotter. So I love the show so much, and I didn't, why does this matter? Well, I'll tell you why. A buddy of mine back in the day, and he became a friend. He was initially my high school counselor, and he suggested to me that I create a YouTube channel where I recap the latest episodes of Dog the Bounty Hunter. And he said that, and I thought it was the greatest idea in the world. I instantly, he had to take a call, so I brainstormed to myself for a second as I was on YouTube, and I had to create an account. And I initially decided to call it, like, I don't know, I came up with several different stupid, ridiculous names. Dog updates, Dog the Bounty. I needed something that is like, I don't know, nothing was sticking. And for whatever reason, so in Hawaii, in the show, their company is called Dakine Bail Bonds, Dakine. And Dakine, is the language called Samoan or Hawaiian? I don't want to be ignorant and mistaken, but that in whichever language that is, it'd be helpful if this is DSF Internet. You could Google it. Dakine, I believe it means something benevolent in that language. I don't remember. Does it mean be kind? I don't know. Leave a comment. Let me know. Maybe you'll beat the DS to the punch. Turn it on. Old computers. While this gets going, I'll continue the story. So I just decided to call it the kind update. And I poked my buddy and I told him, and he thought that was good. And I was like, yeah. And at that moment, it was the single greatest thing I had accomplished, coming up with that name. As stupid as it was. But it stuck. It stuck for years after I was done filming these weird ass videos I was filming. Okay, so we have it up now. And so I went ahead and I watched the latest episode of Dog the Bounty Hunter that same day after I got home from school. And my parents were home, and admittedly, I was like never comfortable being creatively expressive around them. It was just never. I never broke out of my shell to be performative or just be expressive with my creativity like that around them. So they were kind of like shitty, and the first one I filmed it. It was like I whispered my summarization. It was very terrible. It was awful. They were all pretty bad. All of these videos I made like 42 of them, but the first I want to say maybe 10 or 12. I don't really fucking know. I'm just guessing. I did all of them they were just audio only, just my voice, usually just whispering it in that shy, awkward fucking not prepubescent. I was well into puberty at this point, I think, and just that weird voice that it's not good to hear. It's just, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to listen to it. So that was my voice back then. I'm much more comfortable with it now, though. Can you tell? We have internet access? No. Just Heart Gold and Me Plaza. Me Maker. AR Games. Face Raiders. Jesus Christ. There's just a lot of shit on here that just doesn't need to be on here. Face Raiders. Who asked for any of this shit? Just put the shop there. I don't want all this extra garbage on my fucking dashboard. That was a failure. I'll let it charge. Excuse me. So, I'm gonna find it, don't worry. Yeah, my voice, something like that. So yeah, it's just filming these terrible videos where it would just be, I would make these graphics in MS Paint. It would be Dog the Bounty Hunter recap number, so-and-so, episode title, songs featured. I added the songs featured. I thought that was always a nice little thing that I did, because people had asked, and that was a cool thing. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna be one of those people that has enough people listening that they're gonna suggest. I felt so good about it, but in reality, I think throughout the entire time I was doing this, it was like over a two and a half year span, from 2008 to late 2010, early 2011, I believe, doing these videos. And what was the point I was trying to make here? Water will help. Made it worse. Yeah, I did it for only a few years. I'm sorry, dude. What the fuck? I gotta reel it back in. It's out there. Doesn't matter, dude. Everything I've been talking about has been tangential bullshit. I'll get to the story. Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm not inflating my ego here over my viewership. I'm talking to you the way I was thinking back in the day, what my mindset was. I thought I was hitting some sort of a stratosphere with this, but I only had about... Yes, that was the point I was trying to make. Here it comes. We did it. We found it. You and me. only accrued, I think, maybe 20 consistent listeners of the show, viewers rather, of that thing I did throughout the entire span of its being. And if nothing else, it was a nice little project that helped me. You know, I got rid of every single one of those videos. Every single one. I even made different updates. My most viewed video, before like I redid my channel and cleaned everything out, my most viewed video was a video talking about the Dwayne Jesus Christ. Dwayne Chapman and Beth Chapman divorce rumors and all this shit. You know, Doc had revealed he had cheated, kissed, laid with other women during his marriage with Beth on this Colorado radio fucking show. And yeah, I talked about it like a stupid TMZ pundit rumor fucking chamber bullshit. Rumor chamber bullshit. Yeah, we'll call it that. It was rumor chamber bullshit. And it was well hated. It was vastly disliked more than it was liked. And that was in part due to the fact that I guess this was something that was being talked about on a different website. And my video got posted there somehow. Someone found it. Because I guess it was the buzzwords about it were, you know, running around in the algorithm. Back then, man, the algorithm we didn't even know was fucking generating shit and putting in front of our faces. We didn't know. However, I had to look. I was punishing myself by doing this, but I had to look. I had to see what people were saying about the video. People were attacking me way more than they were attacking the content, the subject matter of the video. Which I was like, I'm surprised at the time, the way I used to be, how impulsive I used to be. I didn't create an account and start fucking fighting with everybody on that forum. It was some sort of like, it was a radiotalk.com fucking, I don't know. It was a dumb bullshit website that no one used. And the only people that used it were people that didn't like me. But it's, I think it was that they didn't like my defending of Dog because, as a lot of people know, he was caught, he's a racist. He was caught in a fucking awful racist tirade filmed by his son, Tucker. I think it was, his name was Tucker. Tucker was married to a woman of color, a black woman. And you know, he was caught using the word fucking just egregiously, just over and over and over again. It's not funny, but it's like how dense can you be, and how cruel can you be towards, you know, towards the the person that makes your son happy. It's wild. And his explanations of it from there were awful. You know, I started making these recaps. I was like 12 or so episodes, I think, 12 or 14 episodes into it when I found out that this was who Dog the Bounty Hunter was. Like, he did this as a person, but he went on Larry King and this bullshit apology. He said something, what was it? He said something to the effect of, like, he thought he was cool enough to say that word. And I was like, brother, how do you dig yourself? Like how big of a hole do you want to dig yourself? It's like, who, like what world do you think you didn't use? But that's the thing, though. It's like, it's crazy. It's like the whole Michael Richards thing. It's the same thing. When he, I think it was on Letterman, he went on, and that was fucking terrible too. But Dog, it was just, he used the word in a hateful way. It's just everything about what he said in regards to that situation was bullshit, I felt. And but my point about having ever brought any of that up was people largely hated him because of that. Didn't accept any sort of apology he tried to put out there, which is understandable because they were kind of crock of shitty. And just bizarrely explained an explanation that does not fit doesn't fit what was heard in the least, but neither here nor there. So they probably hated me because I, in a sense, I was defending him. I was definitely advocating for the show. I was advocating for the show because I liked the show. Yes, I accepted the fact that Dog the Bounty Hunter was a piece of shit, and but the show is still good. It's entertaining. I'm not going to stop watching it. It's still a good show. But that was that, and those videos I stopped doing it I stopped doing it when they stopped doing the show, which was great because after a certain point I really didn't want to do it, because though it was fun and I was learning a lot from it, that was the point I was trying to make earlier too, and you could probably find where that happened, where I just dropped that off. But I was going to mention that though the show was what it was and the people who are involved in it are who they are, I never saw it, I can't see it as a waste of time, because it taught me my initial video editing skills that inspired me to use that as a foundation to only get better at doing it. I don't make anything crazy video wise, but I have the skills there, and they're good skills to have. They're skills that are in high demand, for a person that wants to pursue it. And so it's a nice thing to be able to have and to do. I do it amateurishly, but I have fun with it. It's, you can do a lot. I found out you can do so much with Windows Movie Maker. My favorite video editing software of all time. I don't care what any of you fucking tech snobs out there say. Windows Movie Maker 7 was flawless. It was it was so perfect. It had everything that you wanted in editing software. And it was free. It was free. This program was fucking free. Incredible. And I learned so much from it because it's really, most video editing software is limited by your imagination. You can really make some cool banger shit with something as primitive as that, technology-wise, software-wise. It taught me those skills. It taught me how to get better talking in front of a camera. It was shit before, because the first 12 episodes I was just doing them in front of those graphics with all that information. And then I remember now, I made an announcement video where I showcased my physical reveal, who you'd be seeing me in every recap, every single one, every week. People were so excited. They couldn't believe it. Yeah. And so this is how it happened. I'm going to reenact it for you. This is exactly how it happened. So I was talking blah, blah, blah. I was talking about updates with the show, what I was doing with the show, blah, blah. This is when I was trying to force a deep voice. I was trying to sound, I don't know what I was doing. It was just awkward, awkward me. But here we go. So I'm talking, going over everything. I finished with that. And I say this. And so from now on, you're going to be seeing me in every episode, starting right. And so it clears. You see the blank graphic clears, and you see a blank background, kind of like this, but there's no bullshit in the back. It's literally just the wall, and then I appear in with. I'm wearing, it's from like my, just under my tit line up. I was wearing a gross gray wife beater fucking shirt, sleeveless shirt. I had earrings on at the time, big, like, obnoxious earrings, obnoxiously big gold hoop earrings that made me look like a prison bitch, and a freshly shaved head. I don't shave my head quite as low as I used to. I used to go all the way down, and that's another story I'll tell at some point. I might have already told it in another video. I don't know, but I feel like I'll end up doing that at some point. I'll retell stories. We're only 25 minutes in. This isn't easy, but here we go. We're doing it. We're here. This is the weekly hour. Welcome. Thanks for being here. So, when it came down to it, I totally forgot what I was talking about. Right. I appeared in front of the camera looking slovenly. I looked like shit. I didn't think to wear anything nice. I looked like garbage. And I was like, yep, this is what you're gonna be seeing every episode. Me, right, standing right here, and it's gonna be me. Like, this is me. Like, this is like really me. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? You look like a fucking idiot. Now I only wish I could show you the video because I feel much better having talked about it. Because it's absolutely cringe. If I had left these videos up on the internet, this will come back on me. They'll pop up somehow. Somehow. I'm just gonna anticipate it. Expect the worst, hope for the best, right? But these videos would have no doubt just been a target for cringe on a molecular level. It was, man, they were bad. They weren't like fucking like the worst thing you could ever watch. Like, you'd have to avert your eyes. But I know for myself, having watched them after having grown over a few years, developing just the way my demeanor is in videos and all that type of shit, being more genuine, not because making a candid video back in the day would mean me ending the video several times in a row because I didn't start the way I wanted to. And like, so stupid. This is better. I feel better. Like, I don't give a fuck about all the stuttering, all the fucking nose picking and itching I'm doing, and beard scratching. Who gives a fuck? Taking sips of water, clearing my throat. I don't care. This is what I do in normal conversation with people. And, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm really happy to hear, though. This is the weekly hour. We're doing it big. So, we got all the way to what? Yeah. Just the experience of having done those recaps, that whole project, it taught me a lot in terms of being a content creator and what works. And it's certainly not Dog the Bounty Hunter content. No, sir. A few loyal fans, I almost called them fans. Jesus Christ. A few loyal viewers who watched, they're not around anymore. Inactive channels, whatever the fuck. So many inactive channels. You can see, like, I have, let's do the math here. I have 1.4K subscribers, roughly. Most of whom were subscribers from the Moist Janitor video back last year, I believe. Yeah, it was last year, wasn't it? Holy shit. No, that wasn't last year. It was last year. Actually, I don't know if it was last year. But anyways, it was because of that video. Most of them came from that, and most of the people I had on my channel were a mix of people who like Dog the Bounty Hunter, which weren't a lot, probably like, maybe like 100 or so people like the Dog the Bounty Hunter. But, we're only in a half hour right now, I don't have to rush this, But the other part of my channel were parkour videos. Parkour was the other thing that I acquired a deep, deep burning love for back in 2008. And I practiced it in a very disciplined, frequent way from 2008 to I would say from 2008 to 2011, I did it consistently, all the time, every day, as often as I could. It was that thing, man. It was that thing I found, and I fell into it. I didn't fall into it the right way, though. I made a lot of mistakes going into it. I left you know, a lot of injuries. I didn't never prepped properly. Didn't understand the importance of stretching and warming up back then, conditioning and drilling. Parkour, it's largely useless, but it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to do with people. I feel like I could get myself back into the spot, into the shape to do it. I've thought about it. It pops up into my mind all the time. All the time. And I tried to, I posted some video back in the fucking, I don't know, last 3 or 4 months or so. I finally uploaded a parkour video, but it's awful. I should take that shit down. What the fuck is that? It's such a disrespect to how seriously I used to take parkour. Now that I think about it, it's like it just insulted I just insulted a passion of mine, you know, with that video. When I think about it, it's disrespectful, self-disrespect. I'm self-disrespect, different from Dr. Disrespect. That guy's pretty cool. I don't watch people stream, so it's kind of weird for me to expect other people to watch me stream when I do it. But just seeing the videos I've seen of Dr. Disrespect, he's pretty cool. He's a very giving guy, very considerate of his fan base, and very entertaining too. Cool dude. Keep doing your thing, Doctor. We all love you for it. Yeah, parkour. And I'd say I got pretty good at it for the amount of time I was doing it for. And the environment that I had to do it in. It's pretty sparse in terms of like intricate construction to be able to practice on. There were, you had to get to know the lay of the land. You had to understand where you were living. Because some people, I would see some videos and people just had their local playgrounds. And I was like, damn, man, it's like you can't travel too because you're young. A lot of these kids are younger and they're coming up. But parkour was a great part of my channel too. And sadly, I let that go as well. My channel has undergone quite a transformation. But that there is pretty much the story of how my channel became to be. It started off with terrible, just a rocky start that was pretending it was doing well into, I don't know what it is. I don't know what this channel is anymore. It's just welcome to the shit show. Here you can find everything you want and nothing you need. So, yeah. Man, am I running out of steam? I'm only 33 minutes into this shit. It's wild, huh? How about we pop on the old DS? Never hurt anybody. Well, I have a demo on here. Radiant Historia. Perfect chronology. It's a demo. Never really played it. And I have yellow version. I have Super Mario Brothers 3. I have, what is this? You need to download this software from Nintendo eShop before you can launch it. Open Nintendo eShop. No solicitors. Especially at this hour. Eustace? What a show that was. Man. The heyday of cartoons and animation. When they gave a fuck. They gave a shit back then. Everything is, it's like, they color a show with the palette of like 3 colors. And it's just this garbage. Just, what are cartoons these days for children? I don't understand it. I don't see where it's going. I don't watch them. I don't pay attention to it. The most recent cartoon I got into was The Amazing World of Gumball. That show's great. My wife doesn't understand it. She fucking hates it. She doesn't get it. that's okay. I tell her that. I tell her you're not hurting my feelings. You're just disappointing me as a marital partner by not liking this show. So it's a good show. It's so random and it's fucking cool, man. It's like you think about shows like that and they had to have been made for adults who smoke weed and you know, whatever else. Why? What are you gonna put a fucking 7, 8-year-old kid in front of the TV and watch that shit for? It's almost porn. God, what a good show that is. Fuck. I'm gonna watch when I get home. Yeah. I take care of the kids, but one's almost 2, the other is almost 3 months. One can watch the other. It's kids know what they're doing these days. They all have access to the internet. They all have phones. My kid probably has a phone that I don't even fucking know about. Unbelievable. It's happening. But that's a show for me. That's a show for certainly others who like to watch good cartoons, called the Amazing World of Gumball. What's another good show? Mighty Boosh. I had that on the brain earlier in the week. Old Greg. Yeah, Old Greg. The Voodoo Scatman, wasn't that one of them? The Voodoo Scatman, that they had to get the scat man out of his blood or some shit. The Voodoo Scatman blood monster or some shit. Oh, the blood monster. Oh, yeah. Are you afraid of the dark? Remember that shit? That shit was eerie, dude. It took me forever to be able to sit through that intro. I couldn't do it. Once I saw that little clown statue in the attic. Why did you look like that? Why did you have this mean mug on your face? And you have this, like, does he have a cigar in his mouth? I don't know. But it's menacing. It's menacing, and it's in the darkness of this attic, and it's perfectly creepy. Just thinking about it gives me chills. I think about it right now. And that music, and it's like, oh my God, it's like, we're probably not going to get killed tonight, but we were going to spend every hour thinking that we are. It was that type of show. And there was this one episode where these kids were being chased around a pool. And there was this monster that, it was just like this weird looking monster that was like made of blood and dripping sinew and shit like that. It was so creepy. I forget what it was. But I always refer to it as the blood monster. Because that shit was creepy. It was terrifying. Seeing it now still kind of terrifies me. That also kind of reminds me of when I was younger. And I would refuse to go to bed. I would want to stay up and watch TV. My father, he would turn on Tales from the Crypt. Yes, Tales from the Crypt. And that intro, it was such a goofy show. The Crypt Keeper was such a goofy character, but to someone 8, 9 years old, that was a terrifying thing to see. That decaying skeleton creature thing, because you knew at some point that thing was human, and it has spent the last millennia decaying and telling these weird stories in you know, the basement of the underworld. Fuck. And just the voice. And it, you know, my dad turned it on one night. I remember it distinctly. It was just one of those things that you don't forget because you're so traumatized by it. But he, I refused to go upstairs. He didn't yell, he didn't shout, didn't demand anything. He changed the channel to sci-fi. This is where the Crypt Keeper was being shown. And it was the intro, the part where the camera is leading its way, through the house, through the different corridors, down that spiral stairwell that explores every nook and cranny of the crypt and the lair, so to speak. And at the end, it's like, I just waited. He was like, all right, he changed the channel, and I had no idea what was coming. And I didn't think to be suspicious. I wasn't that keen back then. I'm not that keen now, but back then it was It was fatally bad. Yeah. And so it led all the way up, and to that coffin slabbed diagonally, and it whipped open, and just this fucking. I shit myself. I shit myself sideways, and I ran up the stairs. But I didn't go to bed. I didn't go to bed. There was no going to bed after that. There was just crying until I fell asleep somehow. I don't know, I was almost paralyzed by it, just seeing it, because I was like, what is this? What is this? What is this spastic thing? What all of a sudden, dude? What the fuck is that? What is that? What is it? That wasn't my, but in my head I was thinking that, but it was in a much more frantic and horrified voice. It was bad. It was really bad. Out of water. I'm gonna get water. Starting right now. Much better. My throat feels good. It's nice and lubricated. It's ready to take on all the dicks. So yeah. Cartoons were great back in the day, huh? Jesus. Man. Well, I mean, listen, I don't know if I'm up for another 15 minutes or so of this. Fuck it, let's do it. What else can we discuss? I don't know. Yeah, but the Crypt Keeper was terrifying. That's something I never wanted to go through again. And so every time, you know, I didn't learn the first time, so he did it again, and you know, I gave in. Every time because I knew the song immediately. I knew the song. I knew whatever to look for. And the next day, when I could just casually go and turn on the TV and watch whatever, I was scared. I would believe that the Crypt Keeper was there, waiting on the television screen to scare me again. But when you get to know the Crypt Keeper, he's a charming gentleman, and he's suffering from some sort of morbid, otherworldly type of leprosy. But he's a storyteller like no other, and he's, you know, culturally ingrained in society. I mean, he's iconic. And all those little puns, it's like, aha, you're a funny dude though. You know, it's like, yeah, you look like shit, you're scary, I wouldn't want to be around you for too long. But you got good one-liners, you know. He lines up his shots and hits them out of the park most times. And just that era of television, from like, I don't know, TV used to be good. Now there is a million things on television and nothing to watch. Nothing to watch. It's fucking nuts. I'm just getting all these little droplets of water on the rim of my drink cup. Yeah. This feels right. I have enjoyed sitting down and doing this. In all honesty, it's, I think I mentioned this before as well, but it certainly beats talking to myself. To do this with a purpose. And I know I'm scattered. I'm all over the place with what I'm talking about. I diverge from one topic and get onto another one very quickly, very easily. Most times I'm not even noticing. I'll work on that. I'm not gonna promise I'm gonna put any good, you know, decent effort into it, but I'll be aware of it here and there. Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll start getting guests. You know, I got some uncles I think aren't doing anything these days. They may want to talk about some shit. Get some local selectmen. You know, what's going on with all this non-water usage? No outdoor water use. What's all that about? Tune in to Channel 3 to find out. You know, fucking local access television is awful. Oh, man. But I have a cousin on there. I have a cousin on who does local access television. He does a great fucking job, I'll have to admit. Love you, Nikki. He does a great job. I've watched when he's broadcasted weather and you know, told the forecast, recapped football games, and you know, he does a great job. I don't know if he still does it, but I haven't talked to him in a while. But he was good at it. He was good at it. But all that other shit though, fucking gosh. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, what is it with people wanting to know, like, all the little fucking shit that's going on in their town? How many cats have gone missing this week? Is the Tedeschi's down the street still selling expired milk and just, you know, changing the dates? Little fucking label maker. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. Yeah, I'm losing steam. Talking for an extended period of time is difficult without having to pause so much. I'm just trying to search my brain for interesting things to talk about. I don't know how well I've done here. I don't know what the fuck this even is. That's right. It's the weekly hour. And we are 48 minutes in. Jesus Christ. Well, you know, it's among so many other things that I tend to think about. Where would we be if it weren't for like these great types of inventions that Yeti? What a great. This is a sensible purchase. This mug right here, it's like $30, $35. Has this lid. Will keep anything cold or hot when it's placed on top and shut. Look at that shit. That's pretty intense. And got a nice copper one. Copper plated. It's not real. I don't think that's real copper. It could be. I don't know. But I feel like I'm what am I? A tropical prisoner in Port Royal with a fucking scanty little cup that I beat all my bars with, slide back and forth. He's a pirate. Aye, he is. This is a great mug. It's a great product. Could do without this bullshit Yeti. Just smooth that out. Get rid of the sides there. And this, they didn't have that back in pirate days. That wasn't happening back then. Yeti wasn't a thing. Yeti wasn't even a fabled creature, I think, back in those days. So we'll do something about that. There's one on the bottom too. Everywhere. I'm surprised there isn't one like wrapped on this. Yay! No, there's there's one on there though, on the magnet. That is cool though. So there's Yeti here. So let's go over it really quick. You've got Yeti right here. You've got it right here. You've got it right here. You've got it right here. And you've got it right there too. You see it right there? On the, shit. But yeah, enough with that. Enough. I'm trying to drink something. I'm not trying to be disorientated by seeing Yeti 5 times before I take a sip. That's too much. It's sensory shit. Come on. I don't know if I want this cup anymore. You know, when you take the lid off, though, you get rid of 2 Yetis. I thought I was going to say Yeti again. It says pet or pending. It does say Yeti.com. They should have put Yeti in more places. I wonder why that is, though. Honestly, why so much of your brand name just plastered everywhere on this you know, fucking raised great engraving, raised lettering, and baked into the copper supposed. I fuck with you, Yeti. This is a fucking outstanding product. You've made, yeah, this is a great. I have 2 of these. I have a black one too. But I have it at home. That's the reason I bought this one, because I thought I lost that one. I bought this one, and just last week I found it, and it still had some coffee in it. A good amount of creamer still in it. It had gone missing for about 2.5 months. Yeah. The coffee and the creamer created this chimera of a puddle. The thing like, like, you know, when like you look at a boil, like a simmering stew or a cauldron, and just like the fucking bubble pops out and it's something gross, and it breathes, or it just something fucking exudes from it, and that's what it was. There was this bubble, looked like the untouched yolk of an egg sizzling in a pan, being protected by the egg white, and it looked like that. It switched around. It was mostly immobile. It was just this one thing that was moving as a single unit, and you know, when I shook it enough, when I tilted it rather, I closed the thing. I made sure that this little slide at the top is closed, and I tilted it, and it peeled away as if like you're stirring a can of paint with the first couple layers on the top dried, and it just kind of like it wrinkled like a curtain being thrown. You know, it was tough. And so I've kept that in a safer spot where it can be used as a backup. But I'm much more responsible with my Yetis. They're good. They're good for what they do. Yeah, there's another one right here. Yeti. I'm gonna count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Surprised the inside doesn't have just Yeti like fucking Louis Vuitton has LV on there. Fucking purses. I think that's a good spot to wrap it up. This was fun. Solid 55 minutes. Yeah, why not? Fuck it, call it that. So, you know, we talked about quite a few things, covered some ground on a variety of things. And it's been great having you here listening. Thanks for listening, and sure to see you next week. Take care. Peace out. Peace out, take care, rather. That's how it will go. That's what you'll know me for. That will be my signature outro. Peace out and take care. You know, when I did it, I'll do it the way I did it at the end of the Dog the Bounty Hunter recaps. And it's the same, except I cut out a first bit. Mahalo and aloha. Peace out and take care. That's how I ended the recaps. Mahalo and aloha. Peace out. Take care. Fucking. What a wacky time that was as a teenager, as a budding adult. Here I am. Well, thank you for watching. See you again. Bye bye.